Okay, we're going to try this again. How are you all today? This is Laura Milligan, and I'm really excited to be here with you. I haven't done a Facebook Live for several weeks now. I took some time off over the holidays and Christmas to spend some time with my family and just to kind of slow things down a little bit. And so that was really nice, but I'm excited to be back sharing with you today. Some people call this the most wonderful time of the year. It is celebration, and if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or customer, you know that it is actually a really good time of the year, because what it means is if you purchase $50 in product, you get something for free. And there is a brochure, and I guess I don't have it with me, do I? No. There is a brochure that lists all the things you can get for free, and it's also a great time to join the Stampin' Up! Family if you've ever thought about doing that. And I think a lot of times people think by joining the family and becoming a demonstrator, it means they have to do parties and sell, and that really is not true at all. It's really the best deal in our catalog to become a demonstrator, because you can become what I like to call a happy shopper. And what that means is every time you make a purchase, you're going to get the demonstrator discount. So you can get all the great products and supplies that you want at a discount. So if you would like more information on that, if you thought about that at all, even just a little bit, if you have questions, please reach out to me and let me know, because I love talking about all things Stampin'. You can ask my kids. They always say, oh, don't get mom started talking about Stampin' Up! But I love the company, and I'm so glad that 20 years ago, I made the decision to become a demonstrator. So I have some super cute projects today that I want to share, and these are in our new mini catalog. It's the January to June 2021 catalog, and the ones I'm showcasing today are what I am calling the most beautiful suite. At least to me, it's the most beautiful suite in this catalog. So let me switch my phone down and show you what I have prepared for you today. So this is our mini catalog, and it's full of all kinds of really good things. And the suite I am showing you today is the Fine Art Floral Suite. It includes a stamp set with dies. I'll show you all these in a minute. Some acetate paper, beautiful ribbon, gold leafing, gilded leafing embellishment, a super cute embossing folder, gorgeous, gorgeous paper. And one thing that I love that Stampin' Up! Has started doing a while ago was to put a suite collection here for ordering. And all you have to do is write down one number. It's $102.25, which would qualify you for 2 celebration freebies, or one of the level 2 freebies, the larger ones. But you would get one of everything on this page, so you would have everything you need to work with this suite. So let me show you a couple things. First of all, this is the stamp set. It's called Art Gallery, and these are the coordinating dies. These are fun. I'm going to show you one of those today. These are called Floral Gallery. It's really neat because this big word die here just says just want to say, and then you can add sorry, thank you, any of these words that you would want to do with that. And then this, I love this. This is the painted texture 3D embossing folder. I'm going to show you that. I actually have part of a project that I use this on. And then I think one of the best things of all about this suite is the paper. And this is called Fine Art Floral Designer Paper. These were actually hand painted, the designs for these, and you can see it almost looks like an oil-based painting. You can see the detail on that, like the different layers, the texture created by the paint. It's a pretty one. I love this one. Blue and yellow, and then there's a gray one as well. Let me show you the opposite side. Let me just flip these over here. So these are more just plainer patterns, but they also have that texture like they were painted. Love that one. So that is, it comes 12 by 12. It's the Fine Art Floral DSP. And then something else really cool are these Golden Garden designer specialty acetate sheets, and they are 12 by 12. There's 3 different patterns, and they coordinate with, well, 2 of them at least coordinate with one of the designer papers. So like, for example, this one, I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but it coordinates with the design on this paper and just makes it pop and takes it up a notch, I guess. And then this is the other one. Again, it's this piece of designer paper, and you just put this overlay with it, and look how pretty. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not sure if you can see how beautiful it really is. Let me move this around a little bit. Maybe you can see it. So I have a couple different projects I want to show you today. First one is super simple. And I think, you know, no matter how long you've been stamping, every once in a while you need a card. You need to get a card out the door and in the mail quickly. So that's sometimes when I use this layout idea. So what I've done is taken one of the 12 by 12 sheets of designer paper and cut this 3 inches across by 4 inches high. And then I've made a mat 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I actually got this idea one year on the incentive trip. I can't remember which one it was, but they always let us stamp. Anytime you go to a Stampin' event, of course, you get to do some stamping. It's everybody's favorite part. And our make and takes involved this idea. And what they told us was, if you cut your 12 by 12 designer paper 3 across by 4 inches high, you'll get 12 of these out of each piece of 12 by 12 designer paper. So if you do this with the whole pack of designer paper, and this particular pack, the Fine Art Floral, would be amazing for this. You would have enough of this size paper to make 144 cards, which would be awesome. That would probably be more than you would need, but let me just show you. This is super simple. So I have a card base that's smoky slate, and I'm just going to attach my designer paper. I'm going to grab my adhesive here and just layer this on this. And actually, when we did this for the incentive trip, they didn't even do a mat. We just actually used the designer paper. Okay, and I'm going to attach this then to my card front. Super, super simple. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a greeting. So you could look at this stamp set, and really you could use any of these. Sorry, thank you, best wishes, you are lovely, I'm thinking of you, I miss you. This set has like almost every word stamp I think you would need for any particular occasion. I'm going to use happy birthday, because as it just so happens, I need a quick birthday card out in the mail today. So I think I may be sticking this in the mail. I'm using Pretty Peacock ink, and that is pulled right from the designer paper, and then also my mat. And this is a photopolymer stamp set, so you know I always like to stamp on my deluxe foam mat. This is an accessory that you can get with the Stamparatus. It's cushiony, and I always use that when I'm stamping with photopolymer. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up and stamp it right there. And there it is, a super quick, simple card. Now I'm going to add a little bit of an embellishment. I'm going to use the Elegant Faceted Gems. Look how pretty those are with that. So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. And of course, you know, to me, this is a must-have. I didn't think I really needed it, and then I used it, and now I don't know what I ever did without it. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one of these up and just put that right there. And there is a super, super simple quick card. What do you think? Too simple, or do you like it? I kind of like it. Let me show you a couple other ones that I did in some different color combinations with the different designer papers. So there's one, Maize and Blue, if there's any Michigan fans out there. And then I did, I used the word "you are lovely." I love that. I think that's beautiful. That's one of the words in the art gallery set. And then this one, I wanted to kick it up a little bit, make it a little more fancy, I guess, a little more stepped up. And I cut a piece of the acetate, and then this is again my 3 by 4 inch designer paper, and stamp my words, and I just angled this. I added some of the ribbon. This is also from this suite, and then I used the glitter enamel gold dots. So those are just 3 super quick, easy cards. I think this one's my favorite. I love white card bases. I just like the clean look. So those are 3 super simple, quick cards. That's the first thing I wanted to show you. If you would comment, leave me a comment. And what I do after my Facebook Lives are over, I give it a couple days, and anybody that either watches the replay and comments or is watching it live and comments or shares this, put your name in a drawing and I will mail out these cards. So 3 people will get those cards. All right. Now I'm going to step it up a little bit and I'm going to create my next card. I'm starting with my Whisper White. Actually, it's not Whisper White anymore. It's Basic White, and this is thick. We have a new Basic White paper. Apparently the mill that made our Whisper White products for years and years since I've been a demonstrator has gone out of business, which is super sad. But now we have found a new mill, and they have redone the papers and the envelopes, the note cards and envelopes, and they are called Basic White. So we have Basic White Thick and Basic White just regular, but I always like to use the thick for my card base. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to bring in this panel, and I hope you can see this. Let me pull that up a little bit. Maybe you can see. This is the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder that I told you about. And it actually looks like someone took paint, almost like on a canvas, and just added splotches of paint and created a lot of different depth and texture. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, first of all, attach this to my card base. It's 4 by 5 1/4, embossed. Okay, the next layer, I just took a little strip of this beautiful paper and the overlay that goes with it, and I'm just going to position that. And the overlays, it comes packaged. Let me see if I can get this off. Here we go. When you get it, it has a thin, I'm going to call it like saran wrap on the back of it, and that's just so that it doesn't get scratched up during shipping. So that's just going to pull off. You're going to want to throw that away. And then I'll just position this over where I want it. I'm going to add just a teeny bit of adhesive right on this side here. I don't think you need a lot. Okay, so let me just get that about where I want. I'm just going to move it around till I get it where I want it to be, and that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to match up perfectly. It's just sort of highlighting that. All right, so then this is going to be attached to my card front. That's just going to go right here, like that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then I have this shape. This is from the Tasteful Labels dies. This is terracotta tile. That's going to go here next. First, I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle punch and a scrap of white paper and my terracotta tile ink, whoop, which is right here. I forgot to pull that out. That's right here. And I'm going to stamp sorry on this. Okay, so we have that. And then I'll just take my 1.5 inch circle punch. Like that. Okay. And then I want to fill this in a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is take my terracotta tile again, and I'm going to pull in, if I can find a little piece here, here we go. Pull in a little scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to bring in my mat again for this. I'm going to ink this up real well, and then stamp off, and then I'm going to just stamp over my sorry. Just, I didn't want a completely big white circle, so I just stamped off first so it's a lighter color. And then I'll put this, to put this together, I'm going to use a little piece of this ribbon, This is called, what is it called? Fine Art Ribbon. And I'm just going to fold it in half and grab my paper snips. I need to clean up these ends a little bit. I'm just going to angle those, and I'll fold this in half, and I'm going to put that down about right here, so I'll add a little bit of adhesive. Across those ends a little bit. Like that, and then I'm just going to put this together. So that's going to go right on there, and I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. So we'll go ahead. Oh, here's some big ones. I'll use those. Probably 2's enough for that. Put that right there. And then I'll add my sari, and I'll pop that up too. You know, I always like to pop everything up. Probably 1 is enough for that. And that's just going to go right there. And then I want to add some embellishments. And so these are the gold glitter enamel dots. And I'll grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to put a couple right here. I'll do 2 different sizes. We'll do that and that. And there is card number 2. And I forgot to mention, I will be putting all of these on my blog, the measurements and everything, so that if you'd like to make these, you just need to go to my blog, lauramilligan.com. They'll be up either later today or first thing in the morning tomorrow. But that's card number 2, and I think it's really pretty. It's just simple, but this paper, I don't think you can go wrong with. Okay, that's card number 2. And then the last card I have is a fun shape card. So let me bring these parts and pieces in here for this one. This is a super narrow card. This measure, I think this is about 2.5 inches, but like I said, go to my blog, lauramilligan.com, and you'll be able to see all the measurements. And sometimes it's fun. You know, I think oftentimes when we make cards, of course, we make them this size, like this one I just made, but sometimes it's fun to switch it up a little bit and make some different cards. So this is a fun card. I've been making a few of these. If you took the recent Dragonfly garden class that I offered, my class to go, we did a card like this. We did a fun shape card like this, and I think everybody really liked that. So I have 2 strips of designer paper. I'm going to put one on my card front. Just like that. Oops. Just center that on that panel. And then I'm going to flip this over. This is going to be the inside of my card. And so I'm going to put another piece of the designer paper on the inside. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. Then I've cut some circles, and these are with the layering circles dies. This is the largest circle shape that's just a regular edge, not a scalloped edge, and then the largest scalloped edge circle as well from those set of dies. And this is Old Olive cardstock. I've got 2 of those. I have one of the large white circles, and then I did one with the acetate as well. And again, I'm going to pull the backing off. And I'm going to put one on, this was going to be actually the front. And I'm just going to put the acetate on one side. I'm going to be adding a stamped image there, and so I want to kind of cover that up. It's really not all that noticeable, but if I can cover it up, I think I'd like it better that way. All right, and then these are just going to be layered together. This will be the inside of my card. I'll sign my name and maybe just write a quick little note. Just position that there. And then this is going to go right here. And I'm just going to put my adhesive on the center of this circle because, as you can see, it hangs over the edge, and I don't want to put adhesive on the outside edges of this because it's going to stick, and I don't want it to stick there. It would be stuck on my grid here, grid paper. All right, so I'm just going to put that in place. That is the inside of my card. Of course, you could add some stamping. And then this hangs over the edge on the outside. And one thing that you might want to do as you're positioning this is just take a regular card base, kind of as a template. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you don't go over these boundaries here of a regular card base, because you, of course, want it to be able to fit into a regular envelope. We don't need that at this point, but we might in a minute here. Okay, so then I'm going to attach this piece, and what I do is just kind of twirl it around so that I line up the scallops, and that looks pretty good. And there's the little strip where I put my adhesive. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off, and again, I'm just putting adhesive down the center of this circle so that it doesn't stick. And again, I'm just going to turn till I get those scallops lined up, and that looks pretty good. Okay. All right, now we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to start, I'm going to bring my little foam mat in again. And I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to start with Mossy Meadow ink, and this is the stem. So let me show you. I'm going to be using this stem and then these two images. So go ahead and ink this up. This is the Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to stamp that here. And it has a two-tone look when you stamp it, which I really love. And then I'm going to bring in Flirty Flamingo. And for this, I'm using the more solid stamp. Go ahead and I'll just put that right there. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to bring in this image, which is this one. So the first one I did in Flirty Flamingo. This one is just a little bit more detailed. It's not as solid, and I'm going to do that in a darker color, Poppy Parade. And I just pulled these colors from the designer paper. So go ahead and ink that up and just line this up. This is two-step stamping. Go ahead and position that. And see how it just adds some detail to that stamped image. And then the other thing I'll do is, also with the Poppy Parade ink, is to take my, the words that I wanted on this card, and this is I'm Thinking of You. So I'm going to do that up here. Okay. And then I would take the dies, and I'll just position all of these, and then I will run them through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let me pull these off of here. So here's my stem, and here's my flower. So I would do that. I'd probably do the stem first and then go back and do the flower. I stamp these a little close together. I can't do them like a, not quite do them both at the same time, but so I would do one and then the other. But I actually have already done that today just to save a little bit of time through the magic of Facebook Live, I guess. Set that aside. And so here are the parts. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put this together. So I'll start by attaching this, the words, and isn't this cute? This little, it's almost like the edge of a postage stamp, the little pattern on there. It's super cute. So I'll go ahead and add some adhesive to this panel. And that's just going to be centered a little bit to the right-hand side, I guess. Okay. And that will go right along the bottom here. And this is where you want to have like a card base or something so that you don't extend this over what would be a normal size card. Like if I put it, you know, over here like this, it looks fine, but it wouldn't fit in my envelope. So I just want to use my this shape of my card as I position these. So I'm going to add a little adhesive and just make sure that it's inside the lines or inside the shape of a normal card front. It looks pretty good. And then I'm going to add these, and I'm going to start by taking a glue dot and attaching, grab my glue dots, attaching the stem to the back of the floral part. Like that. And that's just going to go there. And again, I just have to be careful that it's inside the shape of the card front, and it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to this. Oops. So let me just double check. Yeah, so I'm going to put them on this side because that's the part. And I'm actually going to put one also here on the back of where I attach the stem to the flower. That just kind of adds a little bit of enforcement so that that part doesn't come apart. Okay. And I'll use my card base as a tool to position it and make sure that looks like it's going to be just perfect. Okay, so I can take this away now. And then to finish this, I just added a little piece of this beautiful ribbon. Just going to take a small strip and just tie a knot. I'm going to snip this end again because I kind of frayed it, which is actually kind of cute, but not what I wanted for this card. Do that, like that, and then I'll take a glue dot and position this right on the card. And I always try to think, I know how much I love cards when they come in the mail, and I think this one, it's a different shape, and I think I would be really excited to get a card like this in the mail, just with a fun different shape. And then of course I'm going to add some embellishments, and I'm going to bring in these glitter enamel dots again, and I'm just going to put some of these right in the center of this flower here. So I'm going to start, these come in 3 different sizes. I'm going to start with the large one and get it off there. Those are sticky. Now you could just do 1. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do 3. You could actually do as many as you want, but I think that's kind of pretty to really glitz it up a little bit. Okay, so there is card number 3. Isn't it fun? What do you think? So all you have to do is leave a comment or share my Facebook Live, and your name will be entered to win this drawing. To win this card. I put them in the mail to you, and I will draw the next time I do my Facebook Live, which should be next Monday at 1 o'clock. That's normally when I will be coming live to you. So there's that one, and let me just bring this other one in here as well. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining me today. I hope you'll come back next Monday at 1 o'clock. That's my normal broadcast time. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you soon. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna switch my camera over again because I know everybody likes to see Charlie. Charlie, there he is. He just hopped up here. Normally when I do these Facebook Lives, he's snoring or barking at the UPS man or something, but looks like he's ready to take his afternoon snooze. So from me and Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. And once again, I hope you have time to be creative today. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.